Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an SU-14-1. It's the Tier 7 Soviet SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Murovanka, and this one is under the commands of Angelina 75. And it looks like she's using the 152mm howitzer. Game started. Now, I did mention on the page, but I don't think I've told anybody on the YouTube channel that every now and then we will be putting in a 4K HD version of these replays. Most of them are standard HD. It means that I can put in a lot of replays, which is why you'll probably see 5 replays a day at the very least, sometimes 10 a day. But it's one of the reasons why we can put in so many replays is because we do most of our recordings at medium quality or HD. But every now and then I'm going to put in a 4K HD replay, and this is one of them. It's good enough for that. Right, the SU-14-1 comes from the T-35 tank, which is a Soviet heavy tank with multiple turrets that was actually built during the 30s. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very good tank, so they converted a couple of them, or more than a couple actually, into Arty. And the SU-14-1 was one of the Arty that they built. Now they actually built, I think, several of these, or at least 2 of them. Angelina's just trying to work out where she wants to aim to start with. Okay, she's settled on the Magic Forest, and she's now dialing in on a Centurion 5-1, the Australian Centurion, with the barbecue on the back. Rounds out. Direct hit, 309. Now, she's actually got 32 rounds to play with, 700 alpha, penetrating 38mm of armor, and with the standard rounds she got 7.6 meters burst radius, which can be very useful in Magic Forest because enemy tanks tend to get together. Centurion again, and she hits the Peter that was behind him and stuns the Centurion. So 2 hits so far. This time she's going for the Lurva. And shall I start singing Shaggy's song? Mr. Lurva Lurva. They call me Mr. Bombastic. Totally fantastic. No, it's terrible. It's absolutely dreadful. But I can't. Every time I hear the word Lurva, I think of that song. And she splashed the Lurva there. Got 61 hit points off him. You'll have to look that song up. I might put a link in the to the video. We've got a KV3 and a VK101P on that corner, and she's aiming in on the KV3. Rounds out on him and a direct hit, and she stunned both tanks. She's going to pick up extra stun. In fact, I think she hit. Did she hit? I think she hit the VK because he's got a mark on the front of his tank, which looks like the Arty strike. And she took stun assist off the KV3. She goes again. It lands right next door to the VK, but only stuns him and does a bit of splash. 138 off that one. Switches back to the Magic Forest. She's the only Arty on her team, so she has to work extra hard to help them. Okay, she's loaded. She's dialed in. She's ready. Rounds out on the Centurion. Direct hit on his barbecue. Yeah, I know, it's not a barbecue. It's not a barbecue. It is an Australian tank. But they did have this funny thing at the back, which is actually, I think, a toolbox container. And it looks like a barbecue. Of course, the Australians are famous for having barbecues. Yeah, they're big meat eaters and they love their prawns on the barbie. Well, Australia does produce a lot of beef, a lot of lambs, a lot of everything actually. It's a huge country. In fact, it's a continent. Almost loaded. KV3, rounds out. This looks like it'll be a hit. It is! 330, and it landed right on the, right above the driver's port, just below the turret ring. You can see the mark where it impacted. Now, if you're watching it in 4K HD, you might actually be able to see those marks for yourself, but I can see them. Okay, she's loaded. Rounds out on the Lurva. And another hit! 276, and she tracked him. She's really helping the team in the Magic Forest. She's containing these guys. They don't want to move forward. And she switched back to the medium because that VK's still there. She's dialing in. Lining him up for another shot. Rounds out. This could be. Yes, it is another one. 180. She's racked up 1,840 hit points of damage. And the battle's only been going for 5 minutes. Okay, E25 moving into sight. She needs to dial in. She's dialing in very carefully. She's obviously watched her partner, who's very good at dialing in on target. He patiently waits until the reticule is contracted fully, and then he lets loose on them. And you do get accurate shots that way. The E25 is making himself a little firing nest. He just got whacked, and now he's vulnerable to a splash. Oh, it landed short. I think it knocked down that shed, but that E25 is incredibly vulnerable now, and I suspect he knows it. There's also a Scorpion G over there with very low hit points as well, and Angelina can take him out with 1 round. Rounds out. Oh, she hits him and killed him. It took a little while for him to appear. That might be an arsonist as well, but she got him. It came up and said destroyed straight away, even though the wreck didn't appear for a little while. Again, she was bang on the money. She aimed accurately, got hits, rounds out, and another damage to the VK. The guys in the Magic Forest unfortunately finally gave in because they couldn't withstand the enemy, but the enemy that's coming out of the Magic Forest is not in very good state. And there's an ISU-152K there who can actually do something about that. Going for the VK, lining him up, he's moving, and rounds out. 109, it all adds up. Okay, switching over to the other side of the battlefield, you can see the KV-3's only got half his health, and the Lurva a fraction. He's a goner already. Okay, so KV-3 is the next target. Now we just need to stun him, and then the ISU-152K will do the job. Rounds out. Here we go. Yes! Direct hit on the money again. It all helps. Okay, Sturmil. Very slow German tank destroyer. Easy to hit. They normally have to stay in cover because they are so pathetically slow. Rounds out. 290 off that one. Hit the rear of the vehicle. The E25 is coming into the action. He's low on hit points. Now, just need to lead the target a little when they're on the move. When they're stationary, just hit them hard. Rounds out. Oh, he moved just in time to avoid the shell. Now, we might be loaded in enough time to actually get another shot on him, but he's pulling away. Yep, he's running, and we've lost sight of him, so we can't track him. But we've got a T-34 Black and a VK-101P, who's very low on hit points. I go for the VK because I think he's a certain kill, but oh, T-34 took a big hit. 255, just as we lost our teammate. The KV-3 was killed by the T-34B, but both of them are now one-shots. At least I think they are. We're one tank down on the enemy, but don't let that fool you because most of those enemy have got very low hit points, and now they're coming up against tank destroyers with very full hit points. Okay, he's getting close, lining him up, dialing him in. Yes! I told you they were very low on hit points. I love that when that happens at the end of a battle where Arty just literally obliterates an enemy tank who's been trying to break through and then just gets absolutely nuked by a round. Okay, we're loaded. Oh, that one hit the ground. But the SU-152, in fact it was the ISU-152K, got the kill. And now everyone's headed south because now they have the advantage. Yes, the ISU-152 has most of his hit points, and the SU-152 the same. So it looks like most of our players are very nicely loaded, except of course the ISU-152K says he's got no ammo. He said that in chat. Yep, there it goes. No ammo left. So let's see how they get on, because that E25 is a one-shot. Only need to land a shell near him and he'll expire. The enemy Arty's been spotted. She's dialing in. Almost ready, almost ready, almost ready. Rounds out. Lands next to him for 33. He's still alive, but he won't be for long. The T-44 claims the kill. So there's only 2 enemies remaining now. The KV-3 that was over on the other side of the battlefield, and the E25. The ISU-152K is sticking around near the cap, and even though he's got no ammo, he's going to do that because he can spot for us. He might not be able to shoot the enemy, but he can provide Angelina 75 with perfect sighting of where the enemy are, just in case they cap. Angelina's decided to stop at this point because she's perfectly aligned at the centre of the map to get shots on the enemy if they appear. Well, I expect the E25 will try and get sighting on the T-44 to get some resets. So he'll probably appear from the centre of the map, near where he was last sighted in grid square H5, but he'll be slightly further north. And if Angelina's in the right position, she can get shots on him as he appears. She's moved to a position where she's nicely covered so he can't see her, but she will be able to see him from where her teammates spot him. The ISU-152 is moving over to the east side of the map. So he's going to have a quick look. It's a bit brave of him to do that, because if he's got no ammo, there's not a lot he can do if he does sight the enemy, except run for cover. Oh, there's the 25. He was in the bush and he's wiped out with a one shot. T-44 got him before he lost any cap points. And there's the other one, the KV-3, right down south. And he's got very close to the cap. And he does get a reset. We're trying to dial in. Rounds out. It lands nearby. It wasn't fully dialed in. Okay, now if he backs up, we might be able to get around into him. But from this position, he's using that building for cover and he knows it. So the T-44 needs to tempt him to come around the corner and let Angelina take his hit points off him. And then he can finish off the KV-3 once she's splashed him. Here we go. That's enough. Rounds out. 77. It's something. And she's got him. The T-44 gets him. And that is game. Victory for Angelina 75. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for Angelina 75 in the SU-14-1, and it's not the first ace tanker she's had in this Arty, but she did pick up some nice medals with it. She got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 22 in this one. She also picked up a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 8 times the hit points of her own vehicle, a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall, and a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. And her win rate from that battle was 7,721, which is super unicum and some. Let's have a look at the team scores. There you go, top of the table, 4,040 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was in fact the defender on her team with 3,694, and after that it was the T-34 Black with 3,135. When it came to kills though, it was actually shared between the ISU-152K, the T-44 and the T-34B on the enemy team. They all had 3 kills apiece. Angelina had 2. But when it came to base XP, she was right at the top of the table with 1,249 base, 1,208 goes to the defender, and the next high scorer was the T-26E4 with 877. Angelina fired 24 rounds. She got 12 direct hits, 1 penetration and 23 splash. Damage of 4,040 hit points, of which 3,868 were at more than 300 meters. She damaged 11 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and did 508 hit points of stun assist off 22 stuns. On a premium count, she earned 61,892 credits from that game, and after a resupply of ammunition, took away 35,012 credits. She picked up 30 bonds from that game alone, and 1,873 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 5,848 for completing the mission and events, and took home a whopping 9,595 experience points altogether. So I think you can see why I made this replay in 4K HD. It says when the stars align, well, when they do, you get all the medals, and you can see how much work Angelina was putting into that battle to make sure that the enemy was struck, and she was hitting some of the tanks 2 at a time, and it really was very, very effective. So very well done, Angelina. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thanks for watching.